She's really made her mark here over the last few years. Picked up some solid wins on these courts. 2. This could be her strongest clay showing yet. Honestly. And Rule 33, fear no one on this planet. Be the lion in a pack of wolves. Enter Karolina Pliskova, former world number 1, two-time Grand Slam finalist, and owner of a serve that is, frankly, terrifying. That serve isn't just a shot, it's a warning. Blink and the point is over. You don't return it. You just try to survive it. For years, she's been the nightmare draw. The name you pray isn't next to yours when the bracket drops. Calm, methodical, ice-cold under pressure. She can rip a match apart before the crowd even settles into their seats. Picture this. The Madrid draw comes out, names scrolling by. Everything seems like business as usual. Then stop. The scrolling hits a wall. Her eyes lock on one name, Eala. Round 1, Madrid, red clay. That isn't just bad luck. It's the tennis gods saying, good luck, kid. You're gonna need it. See, this isn't some easy warm-up match. This isn't an opponent who's still trying to find her footing on the dirt. She was built for this. In Madrid, the clay isn't just a surface, it's a war zone where movement and spin are everything. And Eala? She glides out there. She didn't come here to learn. She's already fluent in this language. Years of grinding in Spain, thousands of hours on the red dirt, mastering the tiny details that break most players. Sliding into shots, building the point, staying cool when rallies drag on forever. But here's the really uncomfortable part for her opponent. Her game didn't just develop anywhere. It was forged under the wing of the greatest to ever do it, Rafael Nadal. Look, you don't just toss that name around. Nadal is the law on clay. 14 French Opens, 63 clay titles, it's not just impressive, it's insane. Rafa didn't just win on the dirt. He defined what winning on clay looks like. And that philosophy, that brutal intensity, the heavy spin, the grit, that is the exact engine driving Eala's game right now. She doesn't rush, she constructs. She doesn't fold under the heat, she leans into it. Hit one great shot, she'll give you 2 better ones back. Now, imagine being in Pliskova's shoes for a second. You're walking onto clay, a surface that has never really been your favorite weapon, and facing someone who treats it like home turf. That's not just a challenge, it's a mess. And the timing? It's even worse. This isn't prime Pliskova walking in as a top-seeded heavy hitter. This is 2026. She's here on a special ranking, fighting to find her form, trying to prove she's still got that elite spark. Every single point counts now. She needed an easy opening round to find her rhythm, her timing, and her confidence. Instead, she got this. A 20-year-old on fire, playing at home on her favorite surface, designed to drag you into deep water. That's not a warm-up, it's a survival test from point 1. And don't forget the mental side of this. First rounds are always a toss-up, tense, nervous, totally unpredictable. Throw in someone as dangerous as Eala, and suddenly every error feels heavier, every mistake feels louder. If there was one name Pliskova wanted to dodge early, this was it. Yet, here we are. Let's look at the big picture. Madrid runs from April 21st to May 3rd. This isn't just some random stop. It's the final proving ground before the French Open. This is where contenders separate themselves. And the field? Absolutely loaded. You've got Sabalenka, who can literally blast anyone off the court. You've got Rybakina and her pure, lethal accuracy. Then there's Iga Swiatek, arguably the queen of clay, setting the bar for everyone else. Toss in Goff and Pegula, and honestly, every round feels like a championship final waiting to happen. Naturally, the cameras are all on the top seeds. That's where the hype and the headlines usually live. But under the radar, this Pliskova-Eala matchup is starting to feel like the real story. It's got everything. Youth versus experience. Power versus patience. A veteran's comeback against a rising star with everything to prove. Forget the rankings. In a fight like this, it's all about momentum and who feels more at home on the dirt. Honestly, training with Rafa? That's stuff kids only dream about. It was such an absolute honor to just share the court with him. He helped me tweak my forehand and gave me some really solid, smaller pointers. My first time hitting with him ever. I'll never forget it. But right now, all signs point to a total dogfight in round one. This isn't going to be a quick business as usual win. We're talking about a match where momentum can swing in a heartbeat. Grinding rallies that wear you down. Frustration boiling over when things don't go according to the plan. If this turns into a brutal, physical war on the clay, that's exactly where Eala becomes her most dangerous. Look, this isn't just another box to check on the schedule. This is pure tension from the very first serve. The pressure is hitting early. We have a draw that didn't feel like waiting for the later rounds to bring the drama. For Karolina Pliskova, this is more than just making it past round one. This is a fight for survival. It's more than a story. It's a massive tennis saga involving legacy, mentorship, and crushing expectations. And right in the heart of it, a young star steps onto Spanish clay, ready to show the world her true grit. We're talking about Eala, world number 45 from the Philippines, back on the courts in Madrid. Let's be clear right now, she didn't fly here just to get some experience or to see what happens. No, she's here to scrap, to challenge, and to pull off something massive. A quiet exit? That was never the plan. Now, here is the part that should make any opponent stop and think. Facing Eala on clay isn't just facing a kid, it's facing an entire system and a training pedigree that basically built the most dominant era in tennis history. Let's look back. At just 13, 13, while most kids were juggling middle school, Eala made a move that completely transformed her career. She left the Philippines for Mallorca, Spain. It wasn't for a vacation or a quick camp. She went all in. Her goal? The Rafa Nadal Academy. And this isn't just some facility with a fancy logo and a few red clay courts. This place is built on the ironclad philosophy and mindset of the greatest competitor ever, Rafael Nadal himself. You don't just practice there, you live it. She spent every day learning how to move, how to slide, and how to outthink opponents on clay before most players even grasp what the surface actually requires. While others are still trying to find their footing, she's already sliding into deep shots like it's her second nature. Here's the deal. This academy doesn't do easy days. One rule: there is no difference between a practice and a high-stakes match. Every single session is grueling, every drill is vital, and every rally is played with a specific purpose. That means pressure isn't something you learn to handle later. It's something you literally grow up with. So, by the time Eala turned 15, she wasn't just talented. She was building the habits, the discipline, and the kind of resilience that doesn't crack when rallies get long or the set gets tight. You might think that's already impressive enough, but honestly, it gets way more serious than that. Going into this clay season, the connection goes way beyond just being a student at the academy. It's personal now. Rafael Nadal himself, the king of clay, has actually been on the court training with Eala. He's not watching from the sidelines. He's hitting, working, and sharing secrets on the same courts where he built his legacy. Remember, he won Madrid 5 times. He knows these conditions, these specific courts, and these big moments better than anyone who has ever played. That kind of knowledge, you can't fake it or look it up. You earn it through years of total dominance. But the story keeps going, because there is another massive name entering the frame right now, a man who carries incredible weight behind the scenes. Toni Nadal, the mastermind who coached Rafa through most of those 14 French Open titles. He is the literal architect behind the greatest clay court dynasty the sport has ever witnessed. And now, he's officially on Eala's team. This isn't just for show. He was right there in her box during her big Miami run. He's been on the dirt with her in Mallorca for intense training blocks just weeks before this Madrid tournament. This is real coaching and real influence. Honestly, even Eala had a hard time processing that it was actually happening. She said, "It's amazing. We're so blessed to have Toni. If you told me this years ago, my mind would have been blown." That says it all, doesn't it? For a young player, this isn't just about getting better. It's about having a direct line to decades of elite knowledge. The Nadal family's DNA for clay, built over 20 years, is being passed straight to her. It's daily training, not just theory. That isn't just coaching. That's an inheritance. And when you bring that to Madrid, on Spanish clay, the same place where that philosophy was born, she's no longer just another name in the draw. She has a blueprint. It's a system that has already proven it can win at the highest level over and over again. These aren't just old stats. These are the marks of a family that turned clay into their own personal kingdom for nearly 2 decades. 5 Madrid titles, 10 in Rome, 11 in Monte Carlo, and that insane 14-0 French Open record. Just let that sink in. 14 finals, 14 wins, 0 losses. That isn't just dominance. That is absolute perfection under fire. We're talking about Rafael Nadal, a man who didn't just play on clay. He built a private empire there, locked down by tradition and a strict keep-out sign for any rival. For whoever faces Alex Eala in Madrid, here is the cold, hard reality. The mindset, the tactics, that pure dirt court soul it never left. It was handed down with surgical precision, baked right into her training for this very moment. When Karolina Pliskova stares across the net on that Madrid red, she is not just looking at some 20-year-old Filipina phenom. She is facing years of world-class clay schooling, standing tall and ready to grind. Plus, there is more than just the Nadal link. Spain is not just another tour stop for Eala, it is basically where she lives. She knows these specific courts like most people know their own backyard. That Spanish red clay holds no secrets for her. It is home. She gets how the ball bites, how it kicks, and how it drags. Throw in the high altitude of Madrid where the ball flies faster and everything changes suddenly, knowing the dirt is a massive edge. And guess what? She has got that part figured out. She feels the rhythm, the patience required, and how points develop in waves, not seconds. This is not some persona she puts on. It is her identity. And right as the prep looks perfect, there is one more thing. She has been grinding alongside Iga Swiatek over at the Rafa Nadal Academy. We are talking about the world number 2, the woman everyone calls the Queen of Clay right now. That is not just a friendly practice session. That is high-intensity war with the absolute best in the business. While the rest of the field is just getting ready, Eala is already sharp from facing elite talent in these exact conditions. That is more than preparation. It is a massive red flag. Now, let's look at the one factor people miss: the fans. Madrid is loud, it is raw, it is incredibly emotional. And these fans have watched Eala grow up at the Nadal Academy. They know her story, they know her coaches, and they know exactly what she is capable of. Do not be shocked if they treat her like a hometown hero. On clay, that energy shift is everything. Momentum moves fast here. One big winner leads to 3. Saving a breakpoint feels like winning the whole damn thing. A roaring crowd can carry you through the trenches and make life miserable for the person on the other side. Before the first serve even lands, Pliskova is not just playing a match. She is stepping into Eala's world. Let's break down the strategy, because the math on this is pretty brutal. Pliskova has one shot, pure aggression. Fast, scary, 0 hesitation power. She has to bomb serves and end things early. She needs to hug that baseline and kill the point before it turns into a track meet, because long rallies favor one person. Spoiler alert, it is not the veteran. The second these points get long, it becomes Eala's private playground. That heavy topspin forehand just buries people. Her movement, perfected during those long years in Mallorca, keeps her perfectly balanced and always a step ahead of the ball. She can soak up pressure and reset the point. Then, she flips the script. She does not rush or force the issue. She builds the point. She adds layer after layer until she finds the gap. That is terrifying for someone trying to finish points fast. There is another detail from her recent camp. Toni Nadal has been drilling her specifically on movement and touch for the clay season. Eala even said it herself. She mentioned they focused hard on feeling the ball and footwork. She thinks she is moving way better than last year. That is exactly what a player wants to feel right now. Better movement equals better defense and more chances to attack. Now, look at the big picture. Elite movement, coaching from a legend, the Nadal style, and playing in her own backyard. Throw in the confidence and a wild crowd, And suddenly, this is not just a coin flip. Almost every single variable is leaning her way. This is not just some opening round game. It is a statement. This is a perfect storm of timing and momentum all hitting at once. For Eala, Madrid is not the end goal. It is the takeoff point. Look at the schedule. Madrid, then Rome, then the French Open. This is the big build-up where players show the world what they have got. Alex Eala is not planning on a quiet entrance. She is coming in at full throttle. Remember Miami 2025? She took out Iga Swiatek when she was number 2 in the world. That was not a fluke or luck. It was a message. She can walk onto any court, face the best, and walk off a winner. Done and done. She took down a heavy hitter. But now, the dirt, clay where you need grit, brains, and serious lungs. No freebies on this surface. You earn every inch. That's Alex Eala's brand. So, what's next for her? Not just a win. She needs to blow the doors off. And doing it against a former world number 1? We're talking a legend. Huge serve. Massive reputation. If Alex shows up and really brings the heat here, out on the Spanish red clay, playing that Nadal style, that's more than just a simple box score result. It's a warning shot to the entire tour. I'm here. Just think about the narrative for a second. Rafa's protege, in Spain, dominating on the dirt where that whole never say die philosophy was first born. That's pure gold. Total front page stuff. The student taking over the teacher's house. It feels scripted, but it's real. Time for a prediction. Let's get bold. Because right now, every sign is pointing in one specific direction. The red clay, the training, the crowd, the momentum is practically screaming her name at this point. So, calling it now, Alex Eala takes this match. And honestly, it won't even be close. Straight sets, clean, surgical, and totally dominant. A performance that leaves zero room for any what-ifs. She's on her favorite ground, in her second home, and she's ready to go. She's got the secrets of the greatest clay legacy ever in her back pocket. That's not an edge, it's a cheat code. Then there's Karolina Pliskova. Talk about a nightmare draw. She probably saw this and just wanted to avoid it. You know that feeling when you see the bracket and just sigh? Anyone but her. Not today. Not in this city. That's the kind of matchup that keeps you up at night rethinking your whole strategy. Nothing is going to be easy for her. Pure, unadulterated regret the moment she saw the draw. The pressure is boiling over. This isn't a semifinal, but it sure feels like one. Madrid is buzzing for a reason. It's a first-round clash with deep tournament energy. Now, I want to hear from you guys. If you think Alex is about to shock the world in Madrid, let's hear it. Predictions are made to be tested. How does it go down? Does Alex sweep her? Or does Pliskova's monster serve find a way to kill the vibe? Look, that serve is still terrifying. On clay, off clay, it doesn't matter. If she's hitting spots, look out. Can that legendary serve keep her head above water long enough to survive the onslaught? Or do the points just keep dragging on until the clay specialist takes over and breaks her down? What about the mental game? Can Alex handle the lights and the noise of the massive Madrid stage? Or do the nerves kick in? Talent is one thing, but keeping your cool when the world is watching? Drop those scores. Who wins? 2 sets? 3? Is this a total blowout or a surprise twist? The stage is set.